Where did that come from?
Hello, welcome back to Andertons TV. I am Pete.
And I am Lee, aka the Captain.
That was like crazy nuts.
What you were going mad there? I think you put a crazy Beatronics pedal on your board.
I did. Vespa. Yeah, it's a cool pedal, man.
It is a cool pedal.
We'll come to that in another video.
Yeah, that's another video. Today, we are here to talk about cool guitar amplifiers from a very cool company called Supro. A big old history, Supro, going back, from America back to the 50s.
80s and 80s.
I don't know who's their most famous ever user, but I suspect it's probably Jimmy Page. A lot of Led Zeppelin stuff was recorded on a Supro. There'll be a ton of other guitar players.
So, tons.
This is a new range from Supro called the Delta King range. We love the look of them. They're super, super cool. It's probably it's what's most unique about them, I think, is that slightly narrower body, the rolled top, that sense that it almost looks like a 1950s radio or TV or something.
Exactly.
Each of these guitar amplifiers is available in two colours. You can go black with the cream stripes that you see here, or on screen now is tweed with black stripes. Which look cool as well. Other than that's the only difference between the tweed and the black ones is just the colour.
Yeah.
3 models, 8, 10 and 12, each with different features, but the 8, 10 and 12 is talking about the size of the speaker in it, not necessarily the wattage.
The girth of the speaker, basically.
The girth of the speaker. And then you get more features. So on the Diddyist one, we've got no reverb, just volume, tone and master with a boost switch. The next one up, you start to get a bit of reverb and you get bass and treble rather than just a tone control, plus the ability to do boost and like an extra drive switch. And then by the time you get to the biggest one, what have you got extra there?
You've got treble, middle, bass, reverb, master, and a volume. And then you've got
what's the extra knob
boost.
then? I'm confused now. You have got a mid control. That's
I've got a mid control.
Big one's got mid control.
I've got a mid control in it. Not saying everything to 12 o'clock anyways, that's just me.
As we have done in the last 1 or 2 videos where we were sort of comparing some more affordable guitar amplifiers, but guitar amps are weird. Some people have really expensive guitars and they plug them into affordable guitar amps, and other people have affordable guitars and go into affordable guitar amps. So my side of the room is all about keeping everything real. So we got classic vibes, we've got Epiphone Les Pauls, and we've got a very affordable sort of pedal board on the floor. Pete's side of the room is yes.
I picked this Harmony silhouette guitar because I thought that was kind of fitting with the amps, It's got
a vibe, hasn't it?
It's got a vibe, and that's why I used the fuzz pedal at the end there, because I thought it was kind of a little bit that kind of vibe.
But Pete will go. We've got a Heritage 330 over there. I expect we'll get a Les Paul out or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
530.
That opening jam was me on the 10, Pete on the 12.
Yeah.
But I guess what we should do is start down at the Diddy end.
Yes.
With the 8.
8. So what do we think? What is the tubes and stuff in these? Actually?
That's a great question, Pete. So roughly speaking, price-wise, it sort of goes £400, £500, £600. Okay, that's English money, so it's relatively easy to remember. So the 8 here, 8-inch speaker, no reverb. 12 AX7 tube in the preamp, and then kind of unusually, but not massively unusually on amps this size, a 12 AU7 triode driven, so almost like a preamp tube, but being used in the power amp, which obviously is why we get a bit less power out of here. No pedals at all, and it sounds okay. Actually,
it's got that small combo.
It's got that small combo vibe. Probably got more bass end than I was maybe expecting. To give you an idea, I don't have the boost switch engaged, but I am running the volume and the master about 3/4. And it's not crazy loud, is it? So right now I'm kind of maybe struggling. You couldn't really gig or do anything. This is very home use, unless I do wonder. So as this is cranked now, but without the boost switch. It's all right, doesn't it?
Yeah. You like the dry sound? I think it's good.
Yeah, you're getting to the point where you might be able to stick a microphone in front of it and do something. think my gut feeling is the minute the drummer's going, you probably wouldn't hear that. Boost switch in.
Boost. I like that.
You know what?
I like that.
I could live with that.
Yeah.
I could live with that if I didn't need it crazy loud. What I was using it for though before we started filming was with my pedal board. So again, I've got the TC Plethora X5, which has all my kind of ambient and modulation effects in it. And then I've got, it's got a couple of EQ effects in it as well. And then I've got a Nobels ODR one for drive, but with just a little reverb. It's just reverb in the front end. There's no effects loop here. I could definitely live with that.
Man.
And then the ODR one.
That sounds great.
Mean, honestly, that's cool.
It's not cheap.
We've just done a video on some Bugera valve amplifiers, which when we were unpacking these, we were sort of going, so where does this, you've got the whole Bugera range, which the biggest one is a 55 watt, 112 monster, and it's still cheaper than this one.
Yeah.
So you are literally just sort of going, where do I go with this? It's like, I don't really think Supro is about, it's not for the person that's going value for, like what's the best value for money. No. It's definitely I think they've got the tone of the Supros down. That sounded really good.
They've got a tone, haven't they?
And visually, they definitely look cooler than the Bugera stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They've got a brand, there's a brand there. You always pay a little bit extra for the brand.
Yeah, I think by the time you get into the bigger ones, it's maybe a bit more interesting because you might go, I do actually prefer that bigger Supro to the Bugeras. Down here, you are going, it's horses for courses, isn't it? Do I just want something really cool looking and really small? I've maybe got a couple of pedals like that and I don't mind spending 400 quid.
Yeah.
Or do I need something louder? In which case, of course, you go Bugera
It'll look good in the living room, that one.
I think so.
You know what I mean? There's nothing like you're going to be offended by seeing that in a living room,
I'm quite a fan of that. There is I think, is there 2 switches on the back? Yeah. So it doesn't come with it. It's an optional extra, but you can buy a single button foot switch that'll activate this boost control. And you've also got a line out, which you don't see terribly often on amps anymore because it's not a speaker emulated out. So the line out, not much you could really do with that other than...
You have to reamp it or something, or put it
into some sort of cab
simulator
type thing to simulate. But, they're pretty affordable nowadays as well. So that's the little one. Do you want to do the end one?
Yes, I'll do the big one here now. That's the 12-inch one, which in this one here you've got a single 6L6 and a single 12X7. You've got a drive circuit, which is a Pictronic FAT FAT, isn't it? Is it called
so it's got like a built-in distortion pedal.
Yeah, cool. And then it's got a boost in here as well. You've got a foot switch on the back here. You've got the line out as well, so you can, I don't think it comes with a foot switch, but same thing.
That had the line out and the power amp in, right? So
yes.
It's sort of got a pseudo effects loop, right?
Yeah, it could be an effects loop type thing. But yeah, one of each tubes, and it's got a. The reverb in here is, now you can't hear it now, but...
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
There's the proof.
It is.
There's the proof, everybody. Spring reverb.
Spring reverb. And I'm going to bang it, and then someone's going to get angry. So anyway, here's a clean tone. And the reverb was the one I did in the beginning there. I just turned it all the way up, and you get that kind of...
Very clangy.
It's not overpowering, but it's like just a classic spring.
It's deceptively big sounding for its size, right? I mean, when you play Marshall amplifiers that are that size, they sound very boxy,
thin,
don't they?
Small, yeah, they sound small.
And it's Fender, and I guess they've gone more down that sort of Fender Princeton-y kind of vibe, where even though the cabinet's quite small, it's still got a big bass end.
I'm running the bass a little bit more than 12. I put the treble up a bit. Let's try to put everything at 12 o'clock, master, volume, and everything just right up there. Let's see what that does. See, I would definitely start sort of fiddling around a bit with that. Tweaking a bit, maybe
Interesting
a bit more
how
bass.
you can hear, even at that volume, it hasn't got loads of headroom, has it? So you dig in and it starts to distort.
And so I'm running the master pretty loud. Turn the volume down, so get and that's the way to get the clean. It's definitely that kind
mini
of
humbuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely that kind of sound, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know? Let's just see. Let's take the middle down a bit. All the way up. Bass all the way up. Not a ton of bass in it, you know, but it's still.
There's enough.
It's made of poplar, so the amp is made of poplar wood. The neck pickup.
I love that guitar. And if you want to see a video on the harmony range, specifically the Silhouette, it's right up there for you.
Sorry.
No, it's just...
It's that kind of sound, isn't it?
You know where all of these are going to end up, don't you? They're all going to end up in somebody's house who's got like 4 or 5 guitars and they leave them out in the living room and it kind of looks cool. It's part of the furniture.
Yeah.
And they just need a little amplifier that's not too overwhelmingly loud, get a good sound out of it at low volume, and when people walk in, they go, oh, that's cool. And, you know, I like your guitar, you know, all that.
Yeah.
Rather than...
I mean, this set there, right? That set.
How cool is that?
That's cool, isn't it? You love that.
That is double cool.
Yeah, you're double cool. You have that in your house.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Could you gig with that?
No.
You don't think any of them are allowed?
I'm not sure if you could. Maybe you could, but because now I'm running. So I'm running master like 3 o'clock, so it's quite loud. And then I don't know. I'll be careful now, but. See, it starts to crank there because I think it's only got one power tube. I'm thinking it's loud, but I think at that volume,
I think you could mic it and do it. If you were standing right in front of it.
You know, do you remember we did the bass breaker 15?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that sounded amazing. It was loud in the room. So I tried to take it to a gig, and it just couldn't hack it.
I remember you saying.
I had everything up on it.
You were playing Wembley Stadium in front of 80,000 people.
No, actually, no. Playing. Yes, I was. I was playing this garden party, but as soon as the drummer, I just couldn't. You know, I couldn't keep up with it. So we had to mic it up at the end.
Were you outdoors?
It was outdoors as well in the tent.
I kind of feel that's
maybe
a bit unfair.
Even indoors with the drummer, I think it's not gonna hack it. So. But it's loud there, but you don't want it that loud in your house because you're going to get in trouble. But that's kind of nice. Volume, so if I just hit in the boost here, So just so I understand, that's like boosting the preamp, and then you've got the separate one, the drive is for this built-in Pigtronic. So this is just the boost. Just gives it a little bit boost, and you get the drive. Here's the drive. That's good. See, this is what we were talking about before. When people do a drive channel on the amps, for instance, I'm like, why don't you just? Everybody takes a tube screamer or something. Why don't you put that circuit in there? That's obviously what they've done here. But it's very clever because. Great.
It's interesting you say that because there's different schools of thought out there with how do you run a distortion channel on an amplifier or an overdrive channel?
Yeah.
So if you obviously back in the early days, almost everything would have just been cranked up, gain stages into tubes.
Yeah.
And then, something like Marshall JCM 800 was quite an early amp where there was a transistor gain stage in there.
Yeah.
So almost a bit like having a pedal gain stage in there. Although nobody really knew that. And then I remember when Blackstar first came onto the scene, and they kind of quite publicly, well, not publicly, but they didn't make any secret of it being like a transistor gain stage on the distortion.
Like, no!
And everyone went, oh, it's not a proper valve amplifier. And you kind of go, well, it is, because it's still got a valve in the preamp.
Yeah.
You're just putting sort of transistor distortion into the valve, which is exactly the same as having a pedal.
Exactly, and that's why I like it, because if you've got a really good, in my opinion, I like a single channel amplifier, as you know, and then I like to just drizzle my pedals, pedal sprinkle on top of it,
I think what I like about this is actually with just the 2-button foot switch that, again, you've got to buy as an optional extra, you could, in your house, you could literally sit down and you could go with a little 2-button foot switch there. I've got a clean sound, I've got reverb built in, I've got a boosted,
like a bluesy type thing,
preamp, and I've got a drive pedal that I can just punch in from here. So again, it's
all in one. It's kind
very,
of thing,
I think, very aimed at that kind of don't need anything else with this.
You won't be able to use that with a looper though, because if you want a looper in here and you turn on the drive, of course your loop will be driven.
Loop, haven't you?
Yeah, it's got an effects loop. I guess you can use that, but will the reverb then work? I mean, we haven't tried it, but hey, comment in the comment section. But I really like that. What happens if I put the boost on?
Do it.
I like this guitar too.
That's crazy, man.
It's cool, isn't it?
That did sound really good.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. I'm not surprised, actually.
Well, I am.
But I'm positively titulated and luckily happily surprised.
So the final one is the middle one, the Delta King 10. It's not dissimilar to the one that Pete's just taken you through. So apart from the obvious, which is that it's a little smaller and it's got a 10-inch speaker, it still has the boost and the drive circuit built into it. It still has the reverb built into it. It runs on a 12AX7 in the preamp, but a 6V6 in the power amp. So it's maybe a little bit more, small Fender.
No mid control on this one?
No, and it doesn't have the power amp back in, so there's no way of sort of doing an effects loop. It's just got the line out. So let's have a little listen. I've got the volume halfway up. I've got the master volume 3/4 of the way up again, and all the tone flat. So again, we're driving it really loud on the power amp section, but low on the volume section to give those big, expansive kind of clean sounds. And it's not. I mean, when I say it's not that loud, I'm saying that as a positive. It's like it's a good sound at a low volume.
Yeah.
I'm using a single coil sound, so I probably would get a bit more drive.
That sounds great.
I really like that. Okay, let's engage the boost. It's still clean, isn't it? Because I think the pickups on this are so low output. Maybe we'll try it with the Les Paul in a minute. Engage the drive. I really don't feel like I want to tread or anything. I don't feel like I need to. I mean, I could do if I wanted to. That's a TC Zeus, which is their new clone for 50 quid or whatever it is.
Oh, that sounds great.
Doesn't
I could
it?
have one of those in my living room, and it would just be great.
Supro, we both like one of these in our living rooms to go with all the other amplifiers in our living rooms.
I only have one in my living room, but it looks cool.
Boost and drive together. Again, no pedal. That's pretty pokey, actually. I'm kind of going to go.
Too much.
I don't know. I'm a bit with you. I've had 10-watt valve amplifiers in the past where I've gone, wow, that would be no problem at all. And then you go to a rehearsal and it literally, you can't hear it.
It just
over and above
disappears.
everything else.
Yeah.
So I genuinely probably erring on the side of going, you probably aren't talking about a gigging amplifier here.
Unless you put a cab on it, maybe.
Have you got speaker output on any of these? None of these have got power amp outs.
Oh no, maybe not.
So you can't do that.
You can't do that. Sorry. Well, because I did the, I got the PR35.
Yes.
And I took that out for gig, and it wasn't really loud enough.
Really?
It was kind of struggling a little bit, so I put a cap on it, and then it was kind of all right, and it was fine.
It's funny, isn't it?
It's funny. There's a 112.
Something like a Vox AC15. I don't think you have any problem at all gigging with.
It shoots right through people's faces.
And then sometimes if you've got like a Fender Princeton or something like that, which on paper is similar volume, I don't think you could gig
Princeton
with that.
or not. It's not like it's a good extra amp to have next to you.
You need an amplifier that you can just crank the bahoolis.
But you want some clean, so you can put the stuff on it. Because sometimes you want to do clean bits, and other times you just want to put the Vespa on there. And it just does.
Well, I tell you what, just for giggles, for the jam out, actually I did use the Les Paul in the jam out, didn't I? So you changed guitar.
Oh, did you? Okay.
No, I used the Les Paul for the intro jam.
Oh, that's correct.
I will jam out on the baby one with the telly, and you plug something into the middle one because you haven't tried.
I might grab the Heritage with the Les Paul.
H150.
Yeah, let's do that. Anyway.
Well, look, links below if you want to buy any of these. Again, if you live in the UK, it's all free shipping. They're in stock. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like the only choice you've got to make is do you want a tweed one or do you want a black one?